Interesting, the difference, because I had him on as a candidate twice before, and each time.
At 75, Jay Leno, legend of late-night television and one of America's most recognizable comedians, finds himself in a profoundly different chapter of life. Known for decades as a tireless worker whose schedule rarely slowed, Leno spent much of his career driven by craft, curiosity, and a deep love of entertaining audiences. But recent years have shifted his focus dramatically. A series of health challenges, paired with his wife Mavis's difficult medical journey, has led him to step back, reflect, and rethink what truly matters. While fans once associated him with non-stop performances, roaring engines from his beloved garage, and the sparkle of the late-night spotlight, today, Leno is embracing something quieter, gentler, and more intimate: presence. Though many wonder whether he has permanently stepped away from show business, Leno seems far more concerned with being exactly where he's needed most, by the side of his wife, partner, and closest friend of over 4 decades, a beloved figure in American entertainment. For many, Jay Leno's name instantly recalls late-night comfort. The familiar monologue, the signature cadence, the easy smile, and, of course, the iconic chin. Rising from humble stand-up beginnings to hosting The Tonight Show for more than 2 decades, Leno became a fixture in American living rooms. His everyman humor and natural charm made him relatable in a way few television personalities achieve. He wasn't just a comedian. He was a dependable presence, the voice that ended millions of evenings with a laugh. Off-screen, his deep passion for cars and motorcycles added an extra layer to his public persona. Whether introducing viewers to a rare classic engine or tinkering in his workshop, Leno's enthusiasm reflected a man who loved learning, building, collecting, and preserving history through machines. But even icons face moments when life demands a pause. For Leno, that moment arrived over the past few years, not through any single event, but through a combination of medical scares and a growing need to prioritize home life. Challenges that changed his perspective. In recent years, Jay Leno has encountered situations that reminded him, gently and sometimes not so gently, of life's vulnerability. Each incident became less about physical pain and more about introspection, forcing him to slow down and re-examine his priorities. While the details of those events have circulated publicly, Leno himself prefers not to dwell on the drama of them. Instead, he focuses on what they taught him: that life's pace can change suddenly, and that health, both his own and that of those he loves, deserves more attention than any show, schedule, or career milestone. Observers noticed that Leno appeared thinner and a bit tired in some of his more recent public outings, but his attitude remained grounded, patient, and steady. He joked about the situations when he could, reflecting the humor that has carried him through so much. And as his own injuries healed, his attention shifted with unmistakable clarity toward someone far more important to him: his wife, Mavis. A devoted caregiver. Jay and Mavis's new chapter. Jay and Mavis Leno have been married for more than 40 years, their relationship marked by humor, mutual respect, and deep companionship. Over time, their bond grew into one of the most admired partnerships in entertainment. Not because it was flashy or dramatic, but because it was stable, loving, and real. In recent years, Mavis has been diagnosed with dementia, and the progression of her condition has required Jay to take on new responsibilities at home. Instead of treating this change as a burden, Leno speaks about caregiving with tenderness, even joy. He often shares that Mavis seems happy and at peace when he is near, and that being able to help her through everyday tasks feels meaningful. Their routines have shifted, but their connection has not. He jokes gently about carrying her around or helping her through moments of confusion. turning tough circumstances into shared memories, soft laughter, and small, cherished moments. These glimpses into their life reveal a love that has only deepened. For all of his decades in public life, this new role may be the most defining and purposeful one he has ever held. Choosing presence over performance. For the first time in his career, Jay Leno's schedule has naturally slowed. The constant travel, public appearances, and studio commitments that once defined his routine have taken a back seat to something far quieter and more personal. Simply being home, being available, being present. He has said openly that Mavis needs him and that he is grateful to be able to step into that role. Instead of bustling sets and bright lights, his days are now filled with routines centered on care, comfort, and companionship. This doesn't mean Leno has lost his spark or his comedic instinct. In fact, those who know him say he is as witty and warm as ever. But his energy is now directed inward, toward his household, rather than outward toward an audience. He hasn't announced a retirement. He hasn't dramatically declared the end of his career. He's simply chosen to prioritize what matters most for now. And perhaps, after a lifetime of relentless work, that choice feels less like stepping back and more like stepping into a role that life has prepared him for all along. The early years, a dream built in comedy clubs. Long before Jay Leno became a national personality, he was simply a young man with a dream and a seemingly endless work ethic. Born in New Rochelle, New York, in 1950, Leno grew up in a family that valued diligence and perseverance. His father worked long hours in sales, and his mother kept the household running with equal dedication. Their support helped shape Leno's character and fueled his early ambitions. While studying at Emerson College and later Boston University, Leno discovered that performing made him feel alive. College stages became training grounds where he could refine timing, practice delivery, and explore the mechanics of humor. After graduation, he plunged into the demanding world of stand-up comedy, performing in small clubs across New York and Boston. These early gigs were rarely glamorous. Crowds were unpredictable, rooms were dim, and pay was minimal. Yet with each set, whether successful or painfully quiet, Leno sharpened his craft. His natural style emerged during these years, fast-paced, clean, sharp observational humor. He didn't rely on shock value or harsh punchlines. Instead, he talked about the everyday moments people recognized and could laugh at alongside him. His ability to connect through shared human experiences set him apart from the crowd. Breaking through. From club stages to national television, Leno's big breaks arrived when he began appearing on television in the 1970s, including guest spots on The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson. These appearances were more than performances. They were turning points. Carson, who ruled late-night television at the time, saw something in Leno: confidence without arrogance, charm without effort, and humor that appealed to a wide audience. As Leno appeared more frequently on national television through the early 1980s, viewers grew familiar with his distinctive voice and animated delivery. He never abandoned the club circuit, continuing to refine material through live performance. But television exposure propelled him toward broader opportunities. Soon, he became a regular figure on late-night lineups, talk shows, and comedy specials. The momentum was undeniable. As other comedians searched for a niche, Leno perfected one: accessible, energetic, observational comedy delivered with technical precision. The Tonight Show, rising to late-night stardom. By the mid-1980s, Jay Leno was recognized as one of the hardest-working comedians in show business. His ascent toward The Tonight Show was steady and deliberate. He guest-hosted often, studied the format closely, and understood the delicate balance between spontaneity and structure that late-night television required. When Johnny Carson retired in 1992, Leno was chosen as the new permanent host, a decision that surprised some industry watchers but thrilled millions of viewers. Taking over from Carson was both an honor and an immense challenge. Yet Leno stepped into the role with professionalism and respect for the show's legacy. He combined a fast-paced monologue with warm, engaging interviews, avoiding divisive material, and focusing instead on humor that brought people together. His consistency became his signature. Night after night, he delivered jokes that resonated with audiences everywhere, from busy families unwinding after a long day to college students watching from dorm rooms. Under his stewardship, The Tonight Show continued to thrive, becoming a cultural touchstone for yet another generation. Celebrity guests flocked to his couch, and audiences trusted his familiar presence. Through ratings, battles, industry changes, and shifting media landscapes, Leno remained a steady, beloved figure. Criticism, debate, and enduring support. Like all major public figures, Jay Leno faced criticism throughout his career. The decision to select him over David Letterman for The Tonight Show sparked debate across the entertainment industry, with some questioning whether he was bold or edgy enough for the job. Critics occasionally labeled his comedy as safe or too broadly appealing. Others argued that he avoided deep political commentary in a period when late-night hosts increasingly embraced it. Yet the very qualities some criticized were what millions of fans loved about him. His humor was inviting rather than divisive, relatable rather than polarizing. He made people laugh without making them uncomfortable. Behind the scenes, writers, staff, and fellow comedians consistently praised his work ethic and commitment to the craft. He showed up early, stayed late, supported his team, and treated the show not as a platform for ego, but as a craft to be refined daily. Through every controversy, he remained grounded. His popularity endured because viewers saw authenticity in him, an earnestness that never seemed manufactured. A lifelong passion: cars, craftsmanship, and curiosity. Outside the studio, Jay Leno's other great love has always been automobiles. His massive car and motorcycle collection, housed in a sprawling garage, is one of the most respected in the world. To Leno, these vehicles aren't trophies. They're living pieces of history. He repairs them, restores them, studies them, and shares that knowledge through his show, Jay Leno's Garage. The show became a passion project that showcased his warmth, expertise, and genuine excitement about machinery. Whether discussing automotive engineering or cruising in a vintage model, Leno's enthusiasm is infectious. His interest in politics has always been mild, thoughtful, and guided more by curiosity than ideology. Unlike many modern public figures, he generally avoids taking sides, choosing instead to highlight the quirks of political life with humor and balance. Together, his interests, cars, comedy, and current events, illustrate a man who loves learning and connecting through shared passions. Will Jay Leno return to show business? So, the question remains, is Jay Leno gone from show business for good? The answer is complicated, and perhaps even Leno himself doesn't know. His heart still belongs to comedy, engines, and the rhythm of performance. But today, his heart belongs even more to Mavis. And in this chapter of life, that is where he chooses to be. He hasn't declared retirement. He hasn't stepped away forever. He simply stepped closer to home, honoring a love built over 40 years. Whether or not he returns fully to the spotlight, one thing is clear. Jay Leno has already left an indelible mark on entertainment and on the millions who have laughed with him. And for now, he is embracing the most meaningful role of all: being there for the person who has been there for him since the beginning.